Hey everybody, quick follow-up to our course. I hope everybody is doing well and acclimated so far to the class, enjoying your summer, and we have a few things just to discuss based on some information that has been posted, emails that have come in, and I just want to share that information with everybody to hopefully make things a little easier to understand in case you still have some questions about the course. So let's get started, and we're simply going to start basically by looking at the landing page of our course. As you can see here, announcements, as I've mentioned previously, this is our form of communication that will be done most frequently. So make sure you're reading these announcements. They will always be available. You also have your calendar, all right? So follow this information, keep abreast of what I'm posting, so that way you have all the information you need. What I'd like to do is I'd like you all to go to your Content tab. And in the Content tab, we do have an overview. This is where I have your syllabus uploaded. And I do want to show you the section about your attendance, which is your cardio log grade, basically. Okay? So remember, your cardio log grade is 10 points. It's not a lot of points. I don't see what you're doing every week, but the purpose of the log is to act as your attendance grade. So all of you should get these 10 points. There should be no reason anybody does not get 10 points because this class is built off of you doing activity as well as preparing yourself for a skill test, a physical skill test. Remember, 40 workouts is what you need by the end of the semester. So here's the chart, and you'll see this chart throughout the course. Remember, you start off at 0. Your grade will build each week as you turn in logs. As you turn in those logs, you will move up this column and eventually up to the 40, and then you get all 10 points. So it's pretty simple. Turn in weekly logs, average 3 to 4 workouts a week, activity, whatever it might be, and you should get all these 10 points. Okay? Let's go to our weekly folders. So remember, we start off with week 1. Remember, you have your status bar here to help guide you to make sure you've clicked on all the activities. Most of the activities in here are still available. You will notice, and I don't know if you will actually see this on your end, but week 1 exercise log, you cannot click on this log. Okay, that had a due date of June 8. However, the Carvonin formula is still available because it's not due till June 15. Please keep these dates in mind. Pretty much everything has a due date, time that is the same throughout the entire semester. It's always going to be 10:30. It's usually always falling on a Monday. Okay? So just make sure you keep up with that. We are going to talk about the Carvonin formula. I did have some questions about that. Make sure you're watching the videos, learn a little bit more about Carvonin formula, target heart rate, why it's important. And also make sure that when you guys are going through these little assignment modules that I have in here, everything that's blue pretty much is a hyperlink. So here is a short 2-slide PowerPoint showing you how to complete the Carvonin formula activity. If you need that to help you, it's here for that reason. Okay, so it's just it's information that's available to you at all times. So this is what's familiar to most of you if you finished it already. I'm not going to go through this in its entirety. I just want to focus on step 3, number 7, and number 9. So this is your target heart rate for you individually once you fill out this form based on your information, based on your age, and based on your average resting heart rate. Okay? That's beats per minute. This is beats per 10 seconds. This is the information you are going to transfer over to your cardio log. So notice here in this section, This is the information I transferred over from the Carbonin formula. All right. Name, age, Carbonin formula data, and then down here at the bottom, you will notice there are weekly tabs for our semester. There are more than 11 weeks. Don't worry about that. That's because we have fall and spring semesters where we have 15 to 16 weeks. You only need to download this document, obviously, one time. Save this document to your computer, your device, and you will use it on a weekly basis and upload the same document every week to the appropriate weekly folder. So we've already done week 1. Notice here, okay, maybe I did 3 workouts this week. So maybe this was on 6-4. So I'll just type in 6-4. Notice how I have one of the skill tests or both of them on here. Okay. At this point of the course, all of you need to start incorporating the 3-mile walk or a 1.5-mile run on your weekly or at least every other week cardio log, because this is what you're going to be graded on. Big part of your grade is going to be this, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Remember, I don't expect you to fill out every one of these boxes, but you do need to make sure that after you finish your activity, you put in your heart rate, and you can use either heart rate format. You can use the beats per minute, which is this 130, or you can use the beats per 10 seconds, okay, which you have listed up here. Whichever you guys are comfortable with. It's perfectly fine. N+5, N+10, cool down. Make sure that you at least have one of these columns completed. If you're able to identify your distance, great. Here, if you did swimming and you don't know how far you went, no problem. Leave it blank. Just make sure you put in the time. Now, one thing I've noticed on the log is that you can't see how I have it listed as 15:25. I can't type it in as 15 minutes, 25 seconds with a colon. It's just part of the formatting. I can go back and fix that, but I'm not going to do that right now. So for the time being, just put all numbers. I'll know what that means. Okay, so 15:25 will tell me that it's 15 minutes and 25 seconds. 44:29 will tell me it's 44 minutes, 29 seconds. Not a problem. So just do that for me until we can, until I can either fix it or we just might leave it the way it is for the rest of the semester. So just as a recap, you'll be doing this each week, and then this will help you keep track of all your activity. Okay, and I will be uploading this and updating it every week when you guys turn in the logs. All right. So the last thing I want to go over real quickly, we'll go back to our table of contents. Actually, I'm sorry, we'll go back to our course handouts. I want to go over the physical grading criteria. So just as a recap, make sure you guys watch the video where I explain your different options for the physical skill test. Okay. Notice also in here I have the alternative assignment, which is the research paper outline as well. Okay, it's a very extensive paper, but if you choose to do this paper instead of the physical skill test, you need to notify me, and we need to have a conversation about that through email. So that way I can kind of guide you on what needs to be done and talk through why you're choosing to do the alternative assignment. Okay. Most of you will do the physical skill test, and we'll focus on this right now, and then we can get into the alternative assignment on a different video. So basically, remember, 3-mile walk, 1.5-mile run. Okay. Notice on the walk, no running or jogging permitted. You can speed walk. Okay. You can speed walk, but you cannot do any jogging. So make sure that you guys are familiar with the form and mechanics videos that I've provided to you, and really focus on establishing good form, good mechanics to ensure that you guys can complete the 3-mile walk in the appropriate amount of time that you're going to need based on your age and gender. So if we use the example from our cardio log, this is the summary of how you're going to be graded for the skill test. So if I go back over here to our log and I look at, let's say, our run, for example. So this gentleman, Mr. Bruce Wayne, who's 47 years old, ran 1.5 miles in 15:25. Let's take a look at what that grade would equate to for the course. 15:25 and 47 years old. So we're going to scroll down to the 1.5 mile run. Here's the men's section. Mr. Wayne falls into this category here, 40 to 49. Okay. And 15:25 falls in the section here above 16 minutes, 12 seconds, but below 14:47. So if you go over here to the side where it says grade in this column, you'll see that, okay, Mr. Wayne is somewhere between 70 and 80% right now for that 1.5 mile run based on his age and his gender. So that's what I encourage you guys to do. Locate your age bracket and your gender and figure out which of these columns, which particular area under grade do you want to focus on starting. Okay, and all this is available to you so you can figure out what you need to do to get the grade and work towards the grade you want. That's why it's going to require you to do this at least once a week or at least every other week as part of your routine, because this is what you're going to be graded on. If we go back and we look at the walk, he did a time of 44:29 for 3 miles. So let's go back up here to the walk. Here's the men's section, 40 to 49, and 44:29, okay, he didn't quite make 90%, but 45:30 is what he needs to get 80. So he's somewhere between 80 and 90, and that gives him an idea of where he is based on what he submitted. So I encourage all of you to utilize this grading summary to help you navigate what you need to do to get the best grade on your skill test. The last part of your skill test, remember, you're going to have some things you have to submit, and this is one of them. Remember in the video, I went over a screenshot similar to this where you have to submit a screenshot that timestamps your run or walk, your map, and the distance. Notice how this is 1.5 miles. It's not less than 1.5 and it's not more. If it's less than 1.5, you're going to have to redo it. If it's more than 1.5, I can still only go by what time is on here. I can't make any adjustments to it. So make sure when you're doing your simulation or your test, you stop your application, your app, at 1.5 miles and don't do any more or less. And vice versa for the 3 mile walk. This is what you're going to submit to me. And remember, I don't have a restriction in terms of how many attempts you do for the skill test. I want all of you to do the best you can. So the more simulations you do, the better grade you're going to get. Okay, the better opportunity you have to get a better grade. So when you're ready to start submitting these, you can submit them to me. At the end of the semester, I will use your best score, your best time. Okay, so it's not like it's a one-time deal. You can do this as often as you want and just keep track. So that's basically the summary of some of the questions I've seen so far over the last 2 weeks. We're getting ready to start week 3. Remember, we only have 11 weeks, so the semester is going to go by quickly. Keep asking questions, keep posting in the discussion board, and if you have any questions for me, I'm just a click or an email away. So continue doing what you're doing, and we will be in touch. Take care, everybody.